Pounders, welcome back. Battle Royale, Smash the Slate, episode 4, week 4. We have a few Monday night games tonight, which will be fun to see, but plan on doing a portfolio review soon as well for season long because we are absolutely smashing. I love the exposures. We faded basically all elite tight ends except for Kyle Pitts, and the only bull case for Kyle Pitts is there is no injury. Remember the chat that we would say? It was always, oh, I want to leave the room with at least one elite tight end. Well, that elite tight end, folks, is Jake Ferguson. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's Jake Ferguson. So let me at least celebrate this here. We have to do the victory lap to start the stream, the elite tight ends. Shout out to Sam Sherman, who also a big advocate of fading those elite tight ends this season. Doesn't mean they can't hit still. All that news. They do have it going for them that, like, Ferguson hurt his knee. Njoku's hurt. So some of those mid-tier guys, Ingram, out this week again. So they're kind of getting lucky. It's sort of balancing out in a way. You also have McBride banged up. You have Laporta banged up now. Tight end landscape is a mess. I'm just glad my exposure is just a shit ton of people that go late, plus Ferguson and Pitts. Oops, but at least he's not hurt. Let's jump into looking at this week 4 slate. Last week, ton of good plays from a 52nd place in the Dawg Bowl. RIP to CeeDee Lamb. Oh my. It didn't matter too much, which I guess I'm glad. It didn't matter too much because Juwan Jennings went absolutely nuclear. But yeah, this team, the Roma Dunze, we drafted this one on the live stream basically saying, hey, we haven't seen this big spike week yet. Keenan Allen is out. He's going to play 90% of snaps. And what do you know? He bones up 112 yards, 6 catches, and a tutty. A lot of people focus on like, oh, I haven't seen it yet. Like, I'm uncomfortable with that click. Well, projected the usage there, and then it hits in a good situation against Indy. Get right game for Caleb. They still end up losing. That being said, CeeDee Lamb, 6.7 points, bro. And RIP to Dave, bro. Dave's a real one. He had Lamb up here with 6.7. Also had Juwan Jennings. He was the piece you needed this past week. I'm sorry, boys. I was not on Juwan Jennings. And if you look at the main slate, like I don't even think the main slate had Juwan Jennings. All 3 of my third and longs had CeeDee Lamb. You think you're running good with like 101s, and then the 101 goes ahead and puts up 6 points. So the third and longs, you think you're getting lucky, and there you go. Let's take a peek at first place. Barkley and Sharbs. The other thing is, he actually did have Juwan. Crazy. The other thing was JT. We mentioned JT and falling on the sword and drafting a ton of JT, but also knowing he's the only one that's going to get touches in that backfield. Crazy. Generational wealth opportunity. The problem is a lot of running backs got there this past week, and not too many receivers. A few had really good games. Here's a second place without Juwan Jennings. This is a great freaking team, and had Goddard too. One of the ideal teams, actually, if we go to the mini, and I got crushed this week because we're correlating, right? Every time I have Goddard, it's with like a Jalen Hurts team. So I end up getting crushed because you needed Dak, basically. You needed Goddard, and people that still dragged in Lamar Jackson here, although he wasn't the optimal QB. Just more people are, when they're drafting Dak, they are correlating it, right? So with Lamb, with Ferguson, which could have got you there depending on the size of the slate, but Goddard being the optimal. If you had Goddard, Dak, you likely had Lamb or Brandon Cooks, and those pieces didn't do enough to get you there. Dak spread the ball. He spread the ball masterclass, in a play from behind game script, which is exactly what you want for these. And yeah, it's one of those slates that you see a lot of badgeless get there, unfortunately. Let's jump into a battle royale. Let's do a little first look action. Really happy on the James Conner fade last week against Detroit's defense. We doubled it down with our streaks pick'em, taking under 60 and a half rushing yards. And he puts up like 18 rushing yards. Absolutely brutal showing for James Conner against what I would say is elite run defense in Detroit. So shout out to Turbotron here, drafting with us at 5. Barkley against Tampa Bay or Breece Hall against Denver. The only thing when it comes to Breece Hall is the usage of Braylon Allen that is going to limit his ceiling. About 30%. Let's check the game logs here. Now, this game script is a little different, right, against New England. Like, how much do you want to lean into that game script against New England? Like, obviously, Braylon Allen's going to get more work. You don't need to use Breece Hall for all of that. But right now, we'll go Barkley 101. But I do think, you know what? Let's stick to the guns. Let's go Breece Hall. Breece Hall against Denver. Let's play the matchup. We're already taking stands, boys. We're already taking stands. Show a backbone. Show a backbone. Wow, that $3 draft already filled. Holy smokes. That's the primetime Palooza I think Ben's talking about. We drafted a couple of them. Fun contests, but and there is an edge. There's definitely an edge. It's just you have to get volume in because you have to get in the room with the right people that aren't drafting the position of need, and you somehow get some crazy combo. Yeah, that'd be sick, Ben. Good luck, dude. Good luck. Hope to see a big cash. We had a little sweat on Primetime Palooza that ended last night with Mooney and Worthy left. They obviously didn't do enough to get there. And how about Rice? Rice is an absolute baller. Both of my redraft teams with Rice, my number one exposed wide receiver this season. Like, please protect the golden goose. Protect the golden goose. He cannot get hurt. He cannot get hurt. Okay. This run it wide receiver, if one of those guys makes it back to me, I'm like Miley Cyrus. We're partying in the USA. Jefferson, Marv, Rice, and Nico. One of those four with Breece, with one of these running backs is going to probably be my favorite start because it does seem like there's a fall off. If Diggs could have gotten in the end zone, he would have had a very big game, but Stroud looked like crap. Olave had an okay game. Want to what, boys? I'm declaring it George Pickens week. They expect, the last ruling was like they expect A.J. Brown to be out for a few weeks. Where's Devonta Smith go? Like, he probably shouldn't go that late. So if I plan on going Hurts here, I like Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams, boys, is going to rise. That's actually loony. If we go Hurts here, especially when we fade the Barkley click, and then we could play it through the air with Devonta Smith. If he's playing, that's the thing. You have to basically rely on a 1 week turnaround. I don't know if I love that. Possible concussion. We might just have to lean into McBride going in the last round right now. I like the Washington matchup. This is going to be a big week for me for Marv too. And it sucks because you'll be on Marv on the wrong weeks, but this seems like a very good matchup for him. Seems like a very good matchup for him. If not, if somehow McBride does go, we'll probably just end up going Michael Wilson. We'll probably just end up literally taking a shot on Michael Wilson here. And we'll get a scroll on our first draft. Michael Wilson playing 90% of snaps. Not doing a whole lot with it. Kind of expected that this season coming in, but this is good. The 9 targets is a good number for him. If he gets in the end zone, it's a pretty good day. Now, he's going to need more than that to cash high in a main slate BR. But guess what, boys? If Juwan Jennings can do it, anyone can. Like, that's where we're at right now. Like, that's where we're at. If Juwan Jennings can score 3 touchdowns, Michael Wilson can get 2. And maybe McBride's out, more targets open up. I think we saw that. Yesterday or Sunday. Call Nick. Pat said Michael Wilson. I know. These players get in there in weird ways, I will say. Weird ways. I would be completely happy if season-long best ball ended right now. And I have T. Higgins in my top exposure. I have Debo in my top exposure. Like, I have players that are hurt in my top exposures. Pretty happy with how season long's going right now, though. So, Calvin Austin's a shout. Calvin Austin's definitely a shout. We'll see if Vegas is Minshew officially the quarterback change not ruled out, so we're not going to know just yet. If we do go Jalen Hurts here, we're praying that Goddard makes it back to us. It would no Devonta Smith, no AJ Brown. I do think that is going to hurt. It's going to hurt Jalen Hurts' ceiling, and we might have struck out there. If this, I was gonna say, if this guy doesn't go Mike Evans right here, all right, let's play ball here. Let's play ball. Gonna have to keep a note on the McBride news. If I had to guess, if I had gun to my head, is he playing or not? I'd say he's not playing. Just by the way it looked. Like first gut reactions, but I'm okay with taking that risk on Monday. Not that he's going, like, he would rise. If you knew that McBride was playing, he would definitely rise. So a little Monday gamble here. Dude, the garage in the house. What's up, baby? Yeah, Pickens down here is gold. DJ Moore even, we were off him last week, but when the sharps are on him, that's when you want to be off. When the sharps come off, that's when you want to be on. So we might dance. We might dance onto DJ Moore this week. Amari Cooper here getting 2 tutties. A get right game for Amari Cooper, which we called. Deontay Johnson. We called the revival of Deontay Johnson in the Discord channel for Patreon members. That's probably why my season long bags are celebrating right now. Couple big games from those guys. Definitely helped. I don't think there's really too much negative to going AJ Brown here at 30. Like, if I'm the Jalen Hurts team even, AJ Brown at 26, you're still getting a great scroll option. Brees and Kyren, though, as a start is insane. And with Kyler, you're hoping he gets there. You're hoping he gets one or two on the ground. We need one receiver to end this team off. Devonta Adams going undrafted. There's some shit going on there that we're not even sure about. Really, it's between... Ooh. If we wanted to do a bring back, could do a bring back. Let's go. Dude, Deontay Johnson looked like a wide receiver one yesterday. If he's going to be super low owned, I'll have a ton of Deontay Johnson as well. I'm still sort of in shock that Juwan Jennings had that game. Like absolutely shook. Hey, we're +5. If you guys want to join this with me, +5. These running backs, though, I have that feeling that Breece Hall against Denver, this is a spot that I want to be heavy on. Barkley, I mean, 2 30-point games. It's 2 30-point games. And if Devonta Smith can't go and A.J. Brown is out, you got to think it's going to be a heavy Barkley week 2. So I'm not going to have none, but I might put a few more of those one spot shares on Breece Hall and just play the matchup. Bijan was wildly inefficient yesterday against KC, and they almost beat him. Alvin Kamara in a pretty good spot against Atlanta here. He comes back down to earth, but still 29 touches. 29 touches. Ooh, I didn't see this. I'll have to take another look. JT against Pittsburgh, I'm not going to like as much as probably Kyren against Chicago. It's just they have to lean into Kyren if they want to win games. He beat San Fran. Like it was him. Kyren beat San Fran. This is a pretty good spot for Jacobs against Minnesota. Love could return for this game as well, which would give him a boost. Brian Robinson, this is going to be a good shout for Dawg Bowls. Najee got an injury, right? Nursing an arm injury. Should be fine. Look at these touches for Najee. Check on your Warren Bros, boys. Check on your Warren Bros. The clear backup to Najee. Dobbins came back down to earth a little bit, but guess what? 18 touches. 18 touches. If you guys are in redraft, pretty good spot to buy low on Dobbins. If people are now worried about him after one game, the reason I'm not worried, Gus Edwards touched the ball 3 times for 9 yards. Check on your Gus Edwards, bros. 3 times for 9 yards. Yikes. That's what we call yikes. Javonte Williams, 5 attempts for 12 yards. Yeah, I think they should, from a standpoint, a fan of the game. Probably be in their best interest. That's how we professional analysts from afar look at the situation. I like Joe Burrow's spot against Carolina. We obviously like Mahomes against the Chargers. We can't get Kyren coming back to us. I want to test something. I like both of these spots for these receivers. I also like Marv too. I like Rice because I want to be on. I also want to be on Mahomes this week, so that's why I want to click Rice here. This one's going to take some deeper thought. Ceiling standpoint, to me, it seems like it would be Marvin Harrison. From a ceiling standpoint, who has a better chance of getting 2 tutties? Yeah, we just covered this. 29 touches. That's good. That's good for Kamara. that's very good. And that's how you beat any of the inefficiency stuff is with more touches. So yeah, Lucky Box brings in Kyron at 8. Kyron's gonna be a riser from today to tomorrow, pretty obviously. And I was thinking if I just go double receiver here and I get one of these 3 RBs that I'm thinking of, I'm happy with what we did. And there goes the second one. Goes 6 picks early. I wouldn't mind going Marv and James Conner in that game script against Washington too. I think you could have something pretty similar to like Achane and Taysom Hill type of ceiling against a team like Washington, where they just put up a shit ton of points and you have the running back and you have a receiver in the winning lineup. But maybe we play it differently now. Maybe we play it differently. Let's have a peek here at some stats. Arizona letting up on average 123 rushing yards per game. Don't do it. Don't do it. Lucky, don't do it. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. You don't want to do that. Kittle against New England. Dude, I think people kind of underestimate Kyle Duggar. Kittle's elite. Fucking elite. But if he's dealing with a hammy, I'm not going to absolutely love that. Man, we might have to go to Scroll City for tight end this week. Njoku coming back from injury isn't my favorite either. You know who actually screams out is Zach Ertz, which is so weird. Conklin against Denver. And then this is probably Mike Evans here. If we're going strict ceiling, it's Mike Evans. Disappeared for 2 weeks. You know what that means. This would be... This is crazy too. Let's actually bring in Goddard. If Devonta Smith and AJ Brown miss time, you're going to get another Goddard week. I think that's pretty safe to say. So here we'll go Kyler with Goddard. And we're going to rely on some late picks to get us home. We need a running back still for this team. Luckily, there's a shit ton of running backs on this slate. Even Chuba Hubbard getting 26 touches. Plays Cincy. And you know what we need? We need the hacks, boys. Why don't we have the hacks on? Put the hacks on. Only took me my second draft to realize we don't have the hacks on. I'm like, I want to see what these spreads are of these games. Oh, wait. Bestballoverlay.com. Promo code Pounders. get the overlay with the weather, the spreads, the team implied totals, and your percent you're drafting them. All right, so this is a 5-point spread. We'll see how Cincy looks tonight, too. We'll see how Cincy looks tonight. Oh, he goes Pickens. All right. Is this time to live stream? I'm getting some weird feeling that he's in the live stream. He's in my head. Get out of my head. We don't want Garrett Wilson against Denver. It's probably going to be a big-ass fade for us this week. If it bites us, it bites us. Ayuk against New England is it's another spot. I know one of these picks I want to be Brian Robinson Jr. against Arizona. We'll get the bring back here. You want to know what? Like Dobbins against KC. Back-to-back scrolls. Live a little bit. Chuba against Chase. I don't mind grabbing a player from a different game, though, instead of doing a mini. Carson Steele 17 touches. Let's go J.K. Dobbins. And the way this game script runs out, we don't have a KC piece. Chargers, time of possession game on the ground. J.K. Dobbins. Gus Edwards only getting 3 touches last week. Dobbins getting 18, was it? 18. Wasn't effective against Pittsburgh, but we know this team has to run the ball. We'll see about Justin Herbert. He could be sitting out this week. The X-ray results are negative, but when you re-injure a high ankle sprain, it's never great. All right, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready for a Dawg Bowl. We got a couple warm-ups in. That's it. That's all we need. +6. Let's go, boys. Dawg Bowl. First one of the week. It's hashtag Scroll City. And the rooms are typically a lot softer week 1. Not week 1. Monday. First draft day of the week. The ADPs just dropped. They're fresh. There's no real player movement just yet. To put into context, we drafted, of course, this team failed miserably. We drafted an Ayuk at 27, a Devonta Smith at 22 last week in Dawg Bowl. Of course, it fails miserably, but the ADP advantage that we can grab on Monday if we can project some risers is massive. So that's where you can find a nice little edge in these. And then just looking ahead of who I'd rather be drafting in the 6th round is super, super important. And here it might even be wide receiver. Players like McLaurin going undrafted. It's so weird because last year, the year before, there was so much less people scrolling. And I do think at the end of the day, like Rome Odunze last week was a better play than Juwan Jennings. Now that didn't come to light, but more people are scrolling. It's very interesting. +5 for the Dawg Bowl, +2 for the main slate. Logan in the house. What's up, dude? Zach Ertz revenge game. You know, the rookie has not made an impact yet, so no targets in the win, which is not a good sign for Dulcich. Colby Parkinson got 5 targets. Kind of a tougher matchup for him, but against Chicago, he's not a bad scroll option. Let's check the snaps for Colby here. Curious if it was that 80% plus that he played the week prior. Dude, he played 100% of snaps. He had a couple, I want to say he had a couple flags too. I want to say he drew a couple flags. You know when Tommy Tremble catches the first pass, you're like, oh man, those Jatavian Sanders shares not looking too good. Not looking too good. Musgrave might have got a little lucky with a Kraft injury. Did he return back to the game, though? He returned back to the game, I think. +1 for the main slate and +5 for the Dawg Bowl. I'm going to turn on the fan real quick. Be right back. If you guys haven't already, go down, slap the like on the live stream. We'll get the 6 spot again. I could probably guess 5 of the people that are going to be in this first Dawg Bowl room with us. It's very predictable on a Monday, but somehow on last Monday we got an Achan JT start at 12. You could have also got Achan and Mason. We passed on Mason for JT. Now JT ends up falling and Mason ends up rising. But yeah, San Fran, maybe looking back, maybe they would have changed some stuff. You know, I don't mind the 6 hole this week. But like we said, getting one of those 4 running backs seems pretty freaking strong paired up with one of these receivers. And I might even fade Bijan this week. Like Barkley and Hall. And then Kamara. Of course. I might even fade Bijan this week, he says. All right. Let's stick to it. Let's go Chase and let's go Rice here. Try to bring in a Mahomes team. Mahomes on the way back around at 18 should be pretty free. Like, no one should be rushing to grab Kelsey here. The only other thing I think that you could see, James Conner in this area move up above. Kyron should be above JT, maybe even above Nico. James Conner should probably be going ahead of Hurts. Yeah, he goes here at 9. Yeah, so you're seeing it happen. You're seeing the ADPs change in front of your eyes right now. So if that doesn't happen in your rooms, I would scoop them at ADP while you still can. James Conner's got a fucking awesome spot against Washington. Arizona in general, grabbing one of those pieces kind of feels important. Oh, come on. Pass Mahomes to us. This guy's going Mahomes for some reason. Alvin Kamara and Bijan. I don't think this is going to be uncommon by Wednesday. Mike Evans on the thumbnail. ADP of 24. This guy's sharp. Let's go. We get Mahomes to fall back to us. Fuck on us, right? Do we just go the Mahomes onslaught week? And can we hit the week that Kelsey doesn't suck? That's literally the goal. Holy shit. Yeah, all of our favorite options for receivers are gone, so I'm glad we have our 2. We're definitely going Mahomes. I do feel like Goddard has a better week than Kelsey. If there's no Devonta Smith, no AJ Brown, we're doing it, boys. We're doing it. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Give me a Philly piece. This could be another Dobbins team. Yeah, those RBs flew off, though. So after pick 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God damn. 6 is kind of bad. Pick 6 is tough in sharper rooms. Pick 6 in rooms that aren't sharp. Like if we could get James Conner here with Mahomes, that'd be sick. But it's just that's stuff that you might be able to get today that you won't be able to get tomorrow or the next day. Because James Conner could fall 2 picks in your room if it's the right room, but as his ADP climbs, it becomes harder and harder for him to fall back to 18 as the week goes on. Now, going ahead and selecting him at 9 right now, like, I get the reasoning. Like, if you want to be heavy on James Conner, you want to be all in, maybe he's only doing 20 entries, whatever it may be. But if you're drafting over the course of the whole week, I think you just try to push him to 16, but everyone's different. +4 for the Dawg Bowl, if you guys want to join that. +4 for the Dawg Bowl. Drake London, Ayuk off. Joe Mixon click is interesting. If we think he returns against the Jags. We have the revenge game. Aaron Jones revenge game. They gave him 24 touches. You have to think they're going to give him the rock against Green Bay. I like that he's involved in the passing game too. 5 catches in both of his last 2 games. It's pretty close spread, 3-point spread. So run game should be in play. This is our last click. I would like J.K. Dobbins more if we knew. I like both of these plays. Let's go Cooper here. I still like this play here, Brian Robinson. Najee versus Indy's a good spot, but if they choose to mix in some more Warren this week because of Najee's arm injury, you could see that if Najee goes down to like 15 touches, it's going to be a little tougher for him to get there. We could have gone the bring back in Chuba Hubbard, who's going to be a scroll. That's a fun play with this team with the Chase bring back. Ford with 13 touches last week. How many did Foreman steal from him? We'll check in the next room. Actually, I could check right here. Foreman only took 2 touches against the Giants. Waiting on one person for the Dawg Bowl. Let's go. It's filling. It is filling. Chiefs light up 113 yards per game for rushing. It's not bad. They're right in the middle of the pack at 13. 13th best. Where's Green Bay? Green Bay, 105. Oh, dear. We're far back. We're at 9. We're at 9. Wow. EDN3, one of the names I would have called. Dave, one of the names I would have called other than that, Shoobs, I know, is always in these streets. There's a few usernames in here that I don't recognize. Dude, beat the Cordero Patterson drum for Arthur Smith. Didn't he like put the game away yesterday? He gets 7 touches. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. All right, pick 9. Who are we expected to get? We're expected to get one of these receivers, which I like a little better than being on the back in the regular slate Royale. Because then we're getting one at 16. Okay. I know how I want to go in my head of the 2 players. Now we got to see if the room is going to give it to us. Barkley goes at 1. Hall goes at 2. I don't think I'm going to get too many deviations from this. And on this first draft, what we're really taking note of in this last round is who's available. Is there more running backs available? Is there more receivers? What's the position of need? Where's the scarcity? And what should we be doing a little earlier in these drafts because of what's available or not available in the 6th round? Is it a good round for tight ends? Is it a good round for QBs? This is all the shit we're going to be looking at. Like Jaden Daniels going this late against Arizona, in my opinion, is a smash spot. Bo Nix against, yeah, it's not great. Rice goes. Play ball. Marvin Harrison against Washington. Play ball. This is, you're a smash spot. Thanks, Josh. Thank you. Tyler in the house, what's up, dude? Quadzilla here, 101. Stealing the Influencer 101. That's what happens when you come in my streams. Just, it's a wealth. We share the wealth. Position of need. Dude, that'll actually score points. Juwan Jennings. Oh, shit. It's too real. It's too real. Fuck! James Conner was... I don't even mind the double stack here, like the onslaught of Connor and Marf. But does this just become... This becomes our click here. This becomes our click. If Kyler gets sniped with Hurts and Mahomes... No way! No way! Did I just see that correct? Did he go James Conner and Kyler Murray? Dude, luckily I have pants on. This is crazy. What are you thinking, sir? What are you thinking, sir? Oh my God. What are you thinking, sir? Oh my God. Like, he made such a sharp click. He found the James Conner 4-pick rise. And then he panicked. He panicked. It's like, I only watched 5 minutes of content. I didn't see what they did with the second click. What did they do with the second click? Now, it's crazier things have happened. James Conner involved in the passing game. It's not the worst thing in the world, but like, holy fucking thin. One catch. Like, you want to see this go up. Detroit's just a tough matchup. Holy. Dude, I'm going to need like a clown nose emoji or like some sort of sniping emoji for the chat. We're putting the naked tag out. It's not naked because he's got James Conner, but that might be worse. That might be worse. We'll reach up for Mike Evans, not coming back to us at 33. JT and Jalen Hurts. Dave brings in Nico and Mason. I like this start. Kamara and Goddard. Yeah, I'm going to go out and say I like my start. Marvin and Evans. Hashtag break the slate here. And then coming back to us is going to be like this range. Okay. Jacobs off. At the same point where you have Aaron Jones against Green Bay, the revenge game, do you guys think the coaches are thinking it as like, oh, we have to force feed Josh Jacobs to show like, this is why we got rid of Aaron Jones because we got this guy? You think there's a little bit of psychology there going on? Like if Josh Jacobs has a bad game and Aaron Jones, the risk that he has a good game in the eyes of the fans and the eyes of the owners. I don't know. Mahomes still there at 26. Where's the Rice team? The Rice team, he's not coming back to 32. Holy shit. He went Rice and Kelsey. Is he trying to pull off the... Which I think you can in some rooms. If he knows all these guys and thinks they're sharper players, you could try this, but like this I would rather try at like 4. Bring Rice up to 4. Kelsey falls. And then try to get Mahomes to fall. It's just like, this could still work. He's got 4 picks away. But naked Mahomes isn't the craziest thing in the world. Like Mahomes over Drake London's a pretty easy. There's Juwan Jennings at 29. Shubes is sharp though. Naked Mahomes is just bad. I would disagree. Mahomes spreads the ball enough that he could easily get there without a single receiver becoming optimal. An optimal is someone who breaks the slate, separates from the crowd. Yeah, he gets this legendary double stack. It's pretty sick. It's pretty fucking sick, not gonna lie. We have T. Higgins down here, right? If we want to play T. Higgs with Burrow. Who are we looking at for running backs? I also like this. Where's the Chase team? Chase team's to our left. Let's go B-Rob here. And let's just see what these guys want to pass to us. What are your guys' thoughts on McBride? Do you think he plays or do you think he sits out? Yeah, he's throwing to Rice a lot, but depending where the touchdowns go. Like, we just saw it happen. We just saw it happen with Dak. And if it can happen with Dak and CeeDee Lamb not getting there, not having a big game, Ferguson not having a big game, all I'm saying is Mahomes spreads the ball. You'll see the stats. It'll be like 8 people caught a pass by halftime. It's like, depending where those touchdowns go, if he spreads it out, it's completely fine. Devonta Smith, Devonta Adams off. What week does Devonta Adams get traded? Rice got vultured last night when he was out for one play. Mahomes has some mobility to him, though. Oh my God, this guy now brings in Kyler, which, like, at that point, you have to. This onslaught against Washington. I would like it a lot better if this was Marv. Imagine, this could have been hashtag us. Marv, Kyler, and McBride. But I don't think McBride plays. And if he doesn't, it's a lot more punishing in the Dawg Bowls than it is in the Battle Royales, just because of how many options are still available when you're drafting McBride in a 6-person slate versus these 12s. Losing this 3rd round pick it's sort of tough to recover from. Like, you're going to end up with like Pat Fry or Jaceki or Ertz, basically. I like the Daniels click here. Damn. I don't think this is a bad spot to go one of these tight ends. It's, do we think Kittle's going to play against New England? That's the question. Does Kittle play against New England? And then Kyle Duggar. All right. I have an idea who we want our last 2 clicks to be, QB and our last click. We'll see who comes back to us. Dude, the most positive note behind Kyle Pitts is like, he's not hurt. Like, that's it. That's the extent of the positivity behind the Kyle Pitts click right now, is he's not hurt. Henry against San Fran. This game could just be so bad. This game could be bad. I want to see in this first room where T. Higgins goes. Yeah, DK, we ended up with what, like 33%? We were pretty heavy on him. But it didn't matter. Like, you needed Juwan Jennings last week. But if Juwan Jennings didn't happen, would have been pretty damn close to a Dawg Bowl ticket. Would have been pretty damn close. Yeah, but I was falling on the JT sword live on stream. I'm like, this guy's getting all the work. The process was there. And he just kept falling. He kept falling. Pounders were showing in the Discord, getting him at pick 36 in the main slate battle royales. It's like the hate's gone too far. Here's an exact. Here it is. JT at 36 for Bo. Has the JT hate gone too far? It's like, obviously way too far. It's uncomfortable though. It is uncomfortable drafting the player that falls in every single room. And we did it. I did it live in our $75 entry with Billy. It's like, it's just the range he was going is just like, it's just JT here. It doesn't matter if we haven't seen him have that big game. Like, the projected workload and the game script against Chicago, close game, run should be in play, playing from ahead, 4th quarter, running out the clock. Like, all that shit is part of the process. All that shit is why it's beneficial to have the spreads up as you draft. Shout out to bestballoverlay.com, promo code Pounders, all caps, to bring this down to $20 a month. Jordan Love, Jaden Reed. I like this quad. I like this. There's some murmurs of him potentially being able to play this week, so leaning into him returning next week I think is cool. T. Higgins here at 50. Okay. That's the thing. If we were going to go If we went T. Higgins here, we would have been risking that the Chase drafter doesn't go Burrow, which is tough to do. But T. Higgins probably rises. It's going to depend how he does tonight, but you have to think he rises in this range. Ooh, Deontay Johnson at 41. I didn't see this. Deontay Johnson was our plan for 57 with Andy Dalton at 64. You sneaky snake. You sneaky snake, Shoobs. Honestly, don't know where we want to go now with this. I mean, we have the Baker. We always have the bake option against Philly. The last Debo news was he was going to miss several weeks. I wish we had a San Fran piece. All people behind me have a QB already. I like Dobbins here. I like Najee as well. These receivers compared to J.K. Dobbins, not as enticing. I don't mind Michael Pittman. I don't mind Christian Watson. Oh. Oh dear. Anthony Richardson fell off a planet, huh? He fell off a planet. He basically doesn't have an ADP. He basically doesn't have an ADP. Christian Watson, like if you expect Jordan Love to play, Christian Watson is a fucking extremely sharp click here. Terry McLaurin is free. Maybe that's deserved. Maybe that's deserved. Sutton against the Jets, I think, is a tough spot. Downs. Dudes. Very happy with the Downs exposure. Him playing a serious amount of snaps last night, having a target share of, I believe it was 28%. Now that's of A-Rich's target share. So you have to take that into consideration. How many of those balls are catchable? But compared to the Pittman fade we had, and Josh Downs coming in, 57% first week back from a high ankle sprain, returning early. I really like that. I really, really like that. The Zach Ertz click. This guy needs a tight end, which means we're getting Bake against Philly. No bring back. He goes into Joku here. Interesting little double stack. The best news isn't J.K. Dobbins like having a bad game, right, last week, but it's Gus Edwards not being part of the game plan. 3 touches for like 9 yards. We're going to correlate it with the QB. I do think you could make an argument here for naked Joe Burrow. And he just spreads it around. But it is thin. It is thin. A-Rich down here at 36. I know at Pittsburgh it's not going to be a great matchup. The spread's going to be relatively close. Pittsburgh's favored. 4-0 Pittsburgh. I don't know if us football fans can take that. Pitts D is nasty. Keep that under your wraps this week. Deshaun Watson against Vegas. This is a close game. Dude, how ass is Zamir White? How ass is Zamir White? we'll just give you a sneak peek. We're gonna be doing a full portfolio review soon. But let's do a little sneak peek. Where is it? Live, Bestball, NFL. Where is it? Here it is. 507 drafts. All 3 Dalmatians. Check. No way it's going to make me open it up every single time. There's no chance, right? The Bulldog. This is the single entry $75 tournament. I'm pretty sure this team's nasty. We got a little 50-point buffer. Jalen Hurts and Bake, Najee, B-Rob, Sharbs, Chuba, Gibson. Rashawn Johnson sighting. Just want to say, don't want to get too excited. Rashawn Johnson sighting. AJ Brown. Let's advance a low advancer. AJ Brown. Marv, Diggs, Godwin, Coleman, Downs. You're going to see a lot of Downs on my teams. Andrews and Njoku. I'm at 4% Andrews too. So the fact that he's on this $75 team, just kicking the dick. Those elite tight ends, they have a chance just because the mid-tier are banged up. 2 out of 4 Chaz. Shout out to Steph if you're watching this. We have one of our 2 advancing. This one, I don't think we're too far out, are we? No, this one we're 40 points back, so that's not bad. The Greyhound. The single entry $35 tournament. This is only 2 out of 12 advance. Lamar and Dak. H.M. Montgomery. This a Gus sighting. Players I fade. Why are they on good teams? Lamb, Waddle, T. Higgins. T. Higgins, please come back and do something. BBM 5, what's this? I want to say we're right around average, maybe just above. Let me search. It's easier to just search yourself on BBMDB. Select user. Leaderboard, exposures. Yeah, we're right above average at 18.7%. So happy with that right now, especially with my exposures. Like, I think I have a lot of people heating up. Singletary, B-Rob, Sharbs, Jake Ferguson after missing the last game. Rice, our wide receiver 1, Downs wide receiver 2. McMillan looks promising for the amount of snaps he's playing. Burton, we'll just see. It's just like hashtag we'll see. But Debo being at 17%, T. Higgins being at 15%. These are a lot of players that aren't playing right now. But our tight end exposure, you're not going to see any elite tight ends except for Kyle Pitts, but he's alive. He's alive and well. That's the bull case. That is the bull case for Kyle Pitts. Alive and well. We'll see. The Rottweiler. This one with Tyler and BBG. 2 out of 4 there. Pitbull. We got 3 out of 10 with 3 in third place. Nothing out of contention, really. All top 7. So really happy with how the advance rates are going, especially with some of the injuries that were suffered early into the season. But one thing I would like to see is Underdog update this so it actually shows. Like we have one advancing here, but it doesn't show it from the outside. And these flock community contests, if you guys didn't do these were soft and these were sick. It was 1 out of 12 advance. So only team 1 advances. And then round 2, if you make it to the playoffs, it's a 1-on-1. And then the following week, week 16, it's a 1-on-1 to get to week 17. Really fun contest, but really happy with this exposure so far. Also, we're advancing 2 out of 3 for the biggest board, and we're top 5 on all 3 of those. But yeah, this is top 4 advance on the biggest board. So really happy with how some of the higher stakes stuff we did turned out. But we'll do a full deep dive into the portfolio soon. Appreciate you guys all coming in, watching today's first slate video. If you enjoyed today's stream, on the way out, slap the like on the live stream. I hope you guys all enjoy Monday Night Football. Good luck to your primetime Palooza lineups. visit bestballoverlay.com, promo code Pounders, all caps for 33% off. Appreciate you guys and have a good night. Pounders.